joining me right now is my guy from NFL Game Day Morning and also one of the voices of Monday Night Football on Westwood One. And as you could see by that yellow jacket, that gold jacket that's behind him, going to be coming out of, I imagine, the plastic covering from whatever local Arizona dry cleaner he sent it to. Kurt Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, Kurt. Hey. Good to see you, man.
Hey, buddy. What's going on? They actually sent me a new gold jacket.
Why?
And so it wasn't dry. I don't know. I guess it was just time. So I got a couple in my closet. I got another one that was sent to me and haven't pulled it out of the plastic yet, but probably we'll be doing that this weekend, or maybe throwing on one of the other ones for our coverage.
Well, and I know you, I know this isn't to cover for the fact that the first one doesn't fit you anymore. So
no, it's not.
Are you too swole? Like what happened?
No. If I had to guess, look at you. I'm assuming this might be maybe a new cut, a new look, or something. Maybe a new sponsor. I don't know.
To tell you the truth, I do not even know. I was surprised when I got it, and again, I'm not really sure exactly why. Probably should look into that, but I don't know. So I got it just hanging up behind me, and we'll break it out of the plastic at some point.
Okay, flex right there, Rich.
Well, he's like the Scotty Scheffler of the Pro Football Hall of Fame now. He's got 2 jackets. So, all right, what are you going to do with the original, Kurt? What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to keep them all. Okay. I mean, I don't wear them that much, and so they're not really worn out. So, I'm going to hang on to as many as I possibly can. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but you get a gold jacket, you keep it in your closet. You do not do anything with that.
Okay, now let's have fun before we move on here. Okay, so let's just say date night with Brenda. Okay, you're going to take her. Hold on, you're going to take her to her favorite restaurant locally or wherever. Okay, what happens if you say, you know what? It's jacket required. I'm going to wear this one, and you pull out the Hall of Fame jacket and take her to, what would happen if you did something?
What
like
happens
that?
is my wife wouldn't get out the door. My wife is not even leaving if I'm wearing that jacket out around town. That is specified for specific Hall of Fame type responsibilities. She is not going with me. I'm going solo if that's the deal.
Oh, man. All right, let's jump into it here, Kurt. The quarterback season you are most keen to see. Could it be the follow-up of Josh Allen to his MVP campaign, any of last year's stellar rookies in year 2? I'll give you the option of J.J. McCarthy, obviously, for him.
Wow.
Which one, if you could choose, that you're like, Rodgers in Pittsburgh? I give you the floor. Which season is it that you're most interested in?
That's a great question.
Thank you, sir.
Because there's so many, great storylines, especially around the quarterbacks.
But I'm getting you ready for game day morning, Kurt, where you have to choose one. I'm getting you. Like your summer recess is over. You've got to choose.
I'm gonna hem and haw, and then I'll pick one for you. But I want to see Jaden Daniels in year 2. Okay. I thought he was phenomenal last year, and if this is who this kid is, and we get to see that same thing this year, I mean, we're looking at a superstar, and I believe probably a future MVP in this league if we can see that again. I think the intrigue with Caleb Williams and the change with Ben Johnson is exciting as well, because you remember we called the game in London and he throws 4 touchdown passes and he looks every bit the part. And then things kind of spiraled and fell apart for the Chicago Bears and for Caleb kind of down the stretch. But I'm excited to see. I want to know who Caleb Williams is as well. And so I'm really excited to see him in this offense. I really like what Ben Johnson does. And I think it's going to give Caleb a better chance to succeed this year. I'm looking forward to seeing Michael Penix too. Is that, we just caught a glimpse of him at the end of last year, but I'm excited to see with all the talent he's got around him, him as well. So I think there's so many great things to see from a quarterback perspective. But I think I really want to see Jaden Daniels again. I so enjoyed watching him play. I couldn't wait to pop on the tape every single week to see what he was going to do. So I'm excited to see year 2 for him.
Yeah, and then so now that I have my answer, let's go back to Caleb, because you were so vocal on your QB Confidential YouTube page and everything else that you popped out on Caleb about the way he was playing, the way that they were having him play. Then obviously the season blew up on the coaching staff. Knowing what Ben Johnson does and knowing what Caleb needed to have done for him last year, Walk me through what this marriage means for Caleb, do you think? Kurt?
Right. This is interesting because, I've talked about a lot on game day morning, and I talk about it for those that follow me, this whole pure progression idea that we're seeing kind of take over football and even, kind of take over the NFL. And it simply means that you're giving a quarterback a play, and the progression stays exactly the same no matter what defense you see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no matter what defense you see. I fall into another category where I call it defender read type plays, where I'm going back and I'm trying to look at a defender. And I've got two receivers that are trying to put that guy in conflict. I'm going to read that defender and let that defender tell me where I'm going to throw it. So I believe the pure progression type system can slow a quarterback down because he's not reading kind of two guys at once and not able to get through things faster. And that's what Chicago did most of the time last year. And I felt like I feel like it hurts quarterbacks, but I felt like it really hurt Caleb Williams. And he got caught holding the football way too much, leading to all of those sacks and all of those issues. Okay, bring in Ben Johnson. Now, Ben Johnson does a version of pure progression type offense as well. But what I love about what Ben does is that he ties his pure progression type offense into concepts that could be more defender read type concepts. So you're still reading it in a particular order, but it's designed around still putting that player in conflict. And I'm interested to see how that meshes with who Caleb Williams is that you still have your progression, but can he get into some more of that defender read and play the game faster than he did last year? Ben has a great system. I really like what he does and how he builds his offense. So I'm excited about that marriage. But I think it's going to give us a better chance to see who Caleb Williams is and what he's capable of doing. And can he play the game faster? And, we go back to college and he was so dynamic and so good, and especially good at creating and making these special plays. We need him to play more on time, on schedule, and making those kind of timing throws, which he didn't do very well last year. I think this system is going to give him a chance to do that better, and it's going to illuminate for all of us who Caleb Williams is at this point in time in his career, where last year I just felt like he was behind the eight ball and he was playing slow, and I don't believe the system helped him to play faster.
Kurt Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show, getting set to go to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, in which obviously he will take part. Right here on the Rich Eisen Show. I've got 6 quarterbacks here in new places. The quarterback carousel didn't spin too much off its axis. Certainly after Matthew Stafford decided to stay, that domino didn't tumble, right? So I've got Sam Darnold in Seattle, Geno in Vegas, Russ with the Giants, Daniel Jones in Indianapolis, should he get the start, and then the Jets and Steelers swapped quarterbacks, Rodgers and Fields. Yeah. Which one do you think is poised to have the season that everybody hopes they will have with their new quarterback? Kurt?
Yeah. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers. Of the guys that you mentioned, I still have some questions on what things are going to look like. Sam Darnold was phenomenal last year, but new system, a lot of changes in Seattle. I don't know what that's going to look like. Justin Fields, I feel like he's still got a long ways to go in terms of playing the position, although, they could come up with a system that fits more of his skill set, but don't think he's, quite there yet. And then when I look at Aaron, I thought he got better as the season went on last year, got more comfortable. I like the team there in terms of, I think they're going to be a really good defensive team. DK Metcalf. I think they've got some good skill players there. And I just think Aaron's going to, be a really solid quarterback this year. And I think they've got a good team and the pieces are there where I just feel like he's going to have the best chance to have team success this year, even if he doesn't play at, MVP type level. But if he plays the way he did down the stretch last year with that defense and some of their playmakers, I think he's poised to do some good things. Tough division. Obviously, the AFC is really tough, so I don't know what that means in terms of, playoffs and how far in the playoffs. But I do believe the Steelers are going to be a competitive football team, assuming that Aaron takes even another step forward, being a year removed from that Achilles.
Plus, he's not the guy the Steelers are looking to set the tone, right? And the others in the locker room that he's being asked to lead from the quarterback position are kind of closer to him in age, status, peer, right?
Yeah.
Than him walking to a Jets locker room coming off of an Achilles injury. And some of them are, almost damn near half his age. As a matter of fact, the guy who was handing off to him, Braylon Allen, was in fact half his age, and Tomlin is not going anywhere, right? All the craziness that was there. I kind of think like he's in a perfect position to succeed in Pittsburgh, just that alone. Kurt,
I mean, I agree. I don't think there's going to be all the craziness that there was with the New York Jets. I believe, as you said, Mike Tomlin kind of settles that down, and he's kind of the lead man, and is not going to let it get crazy like that. I believe the system, they want to run the football and run play action. If you think about where Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay the last couple of years, that's kind of how they wanted to play as well. And Aaron is so good at protecting the football and making big plays when you can, shrink things down and do those kinds of things where I agree. I think it's a good fit for him just in terms of big picture and how they can settle things down in Pittsburgh, but also the scheme with where he's at this stage in his career. I think the scheme is set up really, really well for him to have success as well. So I'm excited. I think they were competitive last year, with two quarterbacks in there. They were competitive and made a bit of a run. And so I think Aaron is better than the guys that they had last year. And so I believe that they're going to, I don't want to say surprise people. I think you always know Pittsburgh's going to be good, but I think they're going to be very competitive in the AFC, to get that playoff spot. And then we'll see if they can make some noise from there.
I kind of think now I'm going back to the emails that I've received over the last couple of days. Are you coming to LA to hang with me on the set? Or
I am.
Okay,
yeah.
so
we're not doing, our work in Canton. So I'm coming out to hang with you in LA.
So are you going to wear the jacket on the set?
Yeah, I'm bringing the jacket. They have asked me to break it out of the plastic.
Bring it or wear it. Are you going to wear it?
Yeah, I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear it. Yeah, I'm going to wear it on the set. Come on, that's one of those official times where you break it out. Is if you're on the set in Canton, or if you're showing up there, or obviously you're going to do our work.
No, I know, but usually that's because you're amongst your other Hall of Famers and you're going on the stage. Now I can only view this as you trying to one-up me. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to wear?
Well, I mean, I think I want to pretend like I'm official and I can speak about the Hall of Famers that are getting inducted. And so you put that gold jacket on and, people see and go, oh, this guy has the authority to talk about these guys. So I think that's more of the case. No, I'm never trying to one-up you, Rich. Come on. I could never do that. We're partners in this thing.
No, I know that it's not your brand normally, but now I'll know, like, if you, like, during one of the speeches, get up, go to the cafeteria, and you're wearing that, through the cafeteria. Now it's something. But I've just been informed. I know what I'm wearing for Saturday, especially because they keep the studio real cold there.
Okay.
Maybe you bring this. I'll wear this.
All right. You'll wear that.
Yes.
Okay.
And at one point, you can wear your jacket.
You think you could pull that off? Rich?
I mean, yes.
I mean, that's tough to pull off that the puffy silver jacket. So, but I could throw it in the bag. I could throw it in the bag and see how you do.
Bring it.
Throw it in the bag. Okay. Everybody wants me to bring it.
Let's go. Come on,
I can
Kurt.
do that.
Okay.
All right.
What's the number inside the jacket? What's the number? What's your number?
For 310.
You're 310. Is that what you said?
Yeah. You don't mean the silver puffy jacket. I don't know what number's inside there.
No. That's one right there.
No, because they put the number that you are in the history of the Hall of Fame. He was the 310th individual to get into the pro football. I know it's a very small number when you're talking about they've been doing this since 1960. You know what I mean? Like that is something else, Kurt, or since the early 60s. So. Congrats on all that, brother.
Obviously, it's awesome. It's tremendous honor, and always tough because it's such a team sport. We know that so many people helping me along the way. But obviously a tremendous honor. You always want to play to be the best and be recognized that way. And so honored every year when I get a chance to throw that on and go down to Canton.
Brother, it's great to chat with you. And again, just to, again, you're looking, you're glowing. You got the summer tan or sunburn. You got it working here. But again, I'm just trying to get you ready that when you're asked a question, you got to give one answer. You can't bristle because it's too early in the season.
Well, you can bristle a little bit.
No.
There's lots of great storylines. You gotta lay them all out, and then you pick the one.
But heads up, you're 5 weeks away from having to choose your Super Bowl contenders and winners.
Right,
you're 5 weeks
before
away
before they even play a game. I'm so ready for that.
Right,
before anybody's played.
Right, and you've got to kick someone out of the playoffs and put somebody in.
Multiple.
And by the way, every year it's a race to get to Luke Lesord first, our line producer, because the obvious one you want to choose, and then if you're too late, then like, well, Kurt's already chosen that one, and you're like, oh, okay,
right, yeah. I chose Buffalo last year. Yeah, I don't think I was the first one to Luke. Yeah, that didn't age very well, did it? No, not at all.
How'd that work out? At least you didn't hear from it from Bill's Mafia for the next 22 weeks, Kurt.
No, exactly. No, that didn't pop back up week 16 and 17 and into the playoffs at all. But anyways, you mentioned that I was glowing. I'm not pregnant, but I did just have my third grandbaby. Granddaughter, Cade, and his wife Abby just had little Murphy Joe, and so I'm glowing a little bit because it's pretty cool.
Grandpa Kurt, three times.
Yes, three times.
Oh
Love
my
it.
gosh, that is unbelievable. And I'm older than you, and I've got 17, 14, and 12 at home. What's happening? That's why I've got nothing up here. And Kurt, best of Brenda.
Thank you.
And I look forward to. Why don't you bring the other jacket? Bring two jackets. You know what I mean?
I will. I'm going to bring a gold and a silver.
Okay, very good.
And then we'll throw them on the set.
That's like I get the pond. He gets the pool, right?
Pool pond.
Kurt, there you go.
Yeah, a pond would be good for you.
See you soon, Kurt. See you soon, bro.
All right, buddy.
You guys. It's Kurt Warner, everybody, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Check us out noon Eastern time on NFL Network. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.